Like she was the greatest storyteller.
Yeah. What's your favourite story to retell of hers?
Wow. I mean, she just, like Andrew, my brother Andrew and I, he would write down things that mum would say, right? And we just go, that's such a mummism, right? And it was never about her. And she was the greatest storyteller, and she could light up a room. So again, much like my Uncle Ray, I witnessed this person growing up who had the superpower of making other people feel like the most important person in the room. And mum was just amazing. How lucky I was. Dad working so hard at work, and mum was at home, and she just was there. She, at every soccer practice pickup, made every lunch, just and a million things. I'm trying not to belittle her in any way, because she was just the greatest support network and life coach with her storytelling. Here's something. We'll go to almost the very end of her life, and I hate even saying that phrase. So we didn't talk about mum's, and Andy, my bro, I hope you don't mind me sharing the story. We didn't talk about with mum, what was going on. There was that illness that she had, but no, she said, the doctors have probably got it wrong. Look, let's just soldier on. Nothing to talk about here, because she's 87, she's stoic, and it's not about her. How are you, Jason? How's Janine? How's the kids? Like, no, mum, let's just, no. So one day I get this phone call, not too far away from the end of this stage of her journey, and she says to me, now, darling, look, the nurse came in last night, and she wanted to talk about the end. And I thought, oh, shit, here we go. Right. We'll go into the other room. I said, I'm going to get you on FaceTime. So we get her on FaceTime. I go, now, mum, you're on FaceTime. You need to take the phone off your ear and bring it around the front. There you go, Janice.
So relatable to so
there
many
you
people.
go, Janice. And so, mum, I said, now, listen, what happened? So the nurse came in. She said, yeah, the nurse came in last night, and she was going to talk about, the end and everything. And I went, okay, wow, I never, ever want to have this conversation, but still, maybe it's best that we do. So I said, okay. So did she come in? Yes, she did. Did she talk about the end? Yes, she did. She did. And I went, okay, what did she say, mum? And my mum, Janice Rose Gunn, said, to be honest, I wasn't really listening because the cricket was on. And I just go, and that is my mum. That is my mum. And I just laughed out loud, and she giggled, but it was true too. She wouldn't have been listening, because why would we talk about that? The Black Caps are smashing this. The Black Caps are winning on the television. And that's mum to a T also, not wanting to worry me or Andy or anybody else. And we never spoke about it. And then she was just gone. And there's all these conversations I wish I could have with her. But I love the fact that this beautiful woman just popped out. Just popped out. I like to think that she's on the world's longest Probus trip, and she's forgotten where she put her phone charger. And one day she might just ring. I don't know. Yeah.
That's so nice, Jace. Where are you in the grieving process?
It depends. Like, terrible time to start with. But I got it out and spoke to a lot of people about it. And then in doing so, realised that, wow, so many of us are on this journey, right? And now it's fine. It's fine of a day. And then there'll just be moments, that you'll just go, oh, I would ring you now. I shared everything with her. Like, I come to Auckland. Oh, that's a nice hotel room. I'll ring mum. Everything. I miss, like, if I ever did anything on television, she'd always text me and say, oh, you were so good. Oh, you were so good. That was so good. And then when I was on television less, I'd go on something like The Project, and she'd go, oh, I watched, you were so good. They need to put you back on the TV some more. Like, she was like my greatest fan, and just unconditional love, just next level. That's what I miss sometimes, is those cups that go into mum, and she'd resend to me more than Tony Robbins could. She'd resend to me, and in her way, just make you feel like you're doing good, just with a cup of tea.
You know what I love about this is talking to Louis, and he sends you text messages now when you go on stage, right?
He does.
This thing is full circle.
It honestly is. I was going to say, he'll send me text. And even today, he asked me what my day was doing. I said, he's so excited that I'm here with you guys. He's just, like me, such a fan of you and your show. And he's like, oh, Dad, wow, that's amazing. And then today, he'll always send me a little text, and it'll be something like, he'll say, Dad, oh dear, he'll say, Dad, never underestimate the difference that you're making to other people. And I'm like, wow, like, again, like the son is the parent. And it is. And it's like, and I am that sort of person that needs to be reminded that I'm doing okay, eh? And so he has literally picked that up. His texts are like Tony Robbins could not write words like this kid does. And he just knows, like mum, he knows what to say and he knows when to say it. And it's just beautiful. That's what the ultimate wingman does. Yeah.
That's incredible, Jay.
Yeah, just amazing. It's just, how lucky am I, you know? And all my kids know when I'm hurting. And if I reach out and say, I miss mum today, they'll all come back and say, hey, there are still sometimes I just drive down a little cul-de-sac and I think, oh, maybe she'll just come around the corner. And, you know, I think a lot of people get this. You can't believe that someone whose light shone so bright, it just can't be out. I don't understand. And I have this thing. I've had quite a few little incidents with fantails around the home. We live on 10 acres, and I'm a believer that fantails, you know, are little messengers. And it's been amazing at certain times how when I've kind of needed to talk to mum, how this little fantail will just come inside and chat or just sit outside the door and I go, there she is. She's there. So, but I see her now in Louis and Faith and even Grace. So she's there. Yeah.
And you do a lot of speaking, and I know your mum is part of a lot of your keynotes.
Yeah.
Does the emotion always come out when you're delivering?
I think slide number 16 is a picture of me and mum together. And I'm talking about heart and empathy and authenticity and reassurance and telling stories. And I get to empathy. And I talk about a situation and a story about mum when she got a bit sick, and it finishes with me going, I want to show you a slide, and that's when I have to tell the audience, and they don't know I've been talking about mum in current tense, and that's when I say, and there she is, and she passed away 3 months after the story I just told you, and the room is like, woof. And I like to be very present when I tell stories and walk beside people, so there are many a time that I've gone, oh, okay, we're just going to pause here. But I always say to everyone, I'm sorry, it's not that you need to see this slide today. It's more that I need to. So if you just give me this moment and I'll say, I love you, mum, and then we'll talk about it and we'll move on. So and she'll be in every presentation. Like the most nervous presentation I've ever given. Oh, that's right. My most nervous presentation I've ever given. Well, you're beautiful, man. You get it, right? You get it. It's all good. It's all good. It is all good. It's all good. I gave a chat to some cricketers at New South Wales. Shitting myself because I'm overseas. No one knows Jason Gunn or thingy. And it was the first time I'd done a talk. I thought, oh God, do I push the picture of mum up? And I was like, yeah, I will. And I remember putting the slide up and, you know, and I couldn't believe I'd got to speak to the people at Cricket New South Wales. And there she was on this huge screen at Cricket New South Wales. And I was like, Mum, look at you now. Look at where you are. It's like, wow. Like those are the things I wish I could have shared with her. I emceed a night, a big night, and there was a lot of sports stars there. I was very starstruck. In the front row, there was Sir John Kirwan and Sir Michael Jones, Sir Graham Henry, Grant Fox, so many people there. And I put the slide of me and mum up. And I remember saying, this was like about 4 months after mum had passed, so it was quite fresh. And I remember looking at Sir John Kirwan and all these sirs and ex-All Blacks looking up at my mum, and I said, you know what? For so many years, she watched you on screen, and to see you looking at her on screen now, that's pretty special. So she's a part of whatever I do and wherever I go. And I always say about my mum, she was the world's greatest storyteller. And when I'm telling stories like this, like to you now or on stage, I'm not sure sometimes if it's her or me telling the story. And what I say to people is, I don't know where she stops and where I start. And I love that. It's the most connected I feel to mum when I'm telling stories, which is why I must never stop.
You must never stop. Oh, shit. It's emotional here. Jace, I don't really know what to say. Like, it's been such a cool episode. Like,
thank you, guys.
The back end has been really touching for both of us.
Oh, thank you.
Far out.
No, I get, you know what? The thing that this whole journey with mum has taught me is that oh, Mum wouldn't like if I said this, but I'll say it, Mum, sorry, is that we're all dealing with some sort of shit, right? We're all really good at wearing masks. Hey, I get it, you guys. I know some of your stories and my story, that we're all dealing with something, right? And you've just got to go, what would Mum Gunn do? Well, you just try and be there for those people. And the one thing, I can help people that are starting that journey now and go, hey, I get it. And if I can get through this with my mum, trust me, you can get through this. So as much as I don't want Mum to give me this skill, I now have a new skill, which is like, let me show you how you can get through this. It's okay. It's almost like I've come full circle again now. Now I'm that person talking to that little kid in the afternoon again, but they're a little bit older and so am I. So some things never change, right? Yeah.
There's 100% like such a child in all of us that just wants that attention.
Absolutely.
Just wants to be spoken. I won't say spoken to, but spoken with
and reassured.
Yeah, it's such a skill and so needed, I think.
Well, more than ever, right?
Yeah.
You look at how angry social media has become, and we're becoming very unkind. I'm not sure what's wrong with the world when kindness is deemed to be a bad thing. Or woke is terrible. I thought woke was just being kind to people. Anyway, I think you're right. I think now is a time that we need to double down on that, because there's a lot of people hurting. And look, I know I've spoken far too long, but the one that gets me is a psychologist recently said to me, one of the biggest killers in the world now is loneliness. And they said that loneliness does to the body what 15 cigarettes a day does to the body. So if you're lonely and smoking, you're in big trouble. But I thought, how is that totally fixable, right? That's literally just going to see the next door neighbour and going, "G'day, mate." That's literally saying to that person in the cubicle next to you at work, "What are you doing for the weekend, fella?" It's that, isn't it?
Yeah.
But he or she's probably wearing a mask that says, "I'm all right." But what if they're not? And what if you could be the one person of a day that goes, "Well, today was worth it." Because, that nice fella, Jason, he came up and said, I think he actually quite likes me.
Yeah.
And we can all, you don't have to be Jason Gunn, for the love of God. You can just be you, and you can make a difference. I say life's about creating moments. So why don't we all double down on trying to create little moments with people and be the best part of their day?
Yeah, I love that. I had that as my last line, is like, just be the best part of somebody's day is such a powerful thing. And the other thing I've seen you somewhere, someone needs to hear something I have to say.
Yeah.
It's just